right to that heavy rain and flooding. Gordon making landfall of the tropical storm overnight near the Alabama-Mississippi border. The deadly and fast-moving system leaving a path of destruction.
And scenes like this overnight showing powerful winds whipping rain across Alabama. Roads there completely submerged by a powerful storm surge. Ginger is starting us off. She's in Pascagoula, Mississippi. And Ginger, you were there when the storm made landfall.
Yeah, Robin, it was intense in that eye wall. Here in Pascagoula, we saw gusts up to 56 miles per hour, but up to nearly 80 miles per hour in Alabama. You can see the Gulf of Mexico this morning. It is irritated still in the wake of Gordon, but this storm is still moving north and west, still dropping significant rain with flash flooding, moving through Mississippi at this hour. This morning, Tropical Storm Gordon lashing the south. With winds of 70 miles per hour, Gordon made landfall just west of the Alabama-Mississippi state line.
Seriously, we gotta get out of here.
Gusts to 78 miles per hour in Fort Morgan, Alabama. States of emergency still in effect from Louisiana to Alabama. The space station capturing this image of Gordon before it made landfall. Heavy rains from Mobile to Pensacola, where a half foot of rain has already fallen.
Now, India's Supreme Court has made a landmark ruling to decriminalize gay sex. The decision overturns a 2013 judgment to uphold a colonial-era law which classified gay sex as an unnatural offence. Well, Soraya Lenny joins us now in the studio. So talk us through why this is such an important ruling.
Well, as you touched on, this is incredibly important for one of the reasons being that this law is more than 150 years old. It dates back to the Victorian era, to colonial British times, and that's when the law was enacted that came in to criminalise homosexuality or homosexual sex.
Yeah, and Soraya, why now? What triggered this change at the Supreme Court now?
There has been significant movement within the activist population for many years.
New information tonight on a teacher at Hilliard Bradley High School who's been placed on administrative leave after having students take an online morality test yesterday. Parents and district officials have expressed outrage at the nature of some of the material on the test. NBC4's Ted Hart is live tonight in Hilliard with more on how this all unfolded. Ted?
Well, we're told that the morality test was given to several classes of 10th graders by a language arts teacher. It's not clear what the motivation of the teacher was in giving this test. It is clear, though, that it is now widely criticized as being inappropriate for school. The online morality test is one of many on a site called IDR Labs. It asks you to make a judgment of morally okay or not okay to a series of statements. For instance, a Christian bakery refuses to custom decorate a cake with chocolate letters that would carry a pro-gay message, thumbs up or thumbs down. But some of the statements veer into references of violence and sex, even teenage incest.
These are the questions?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be upset too. Holy cow.
Debbie Price reacted the same way many others did when they learned the context of the test.
That's not acceptable. Not for high school. Any school, really.
For Martha Bundy, the incident helps reaffirm her decision not to send her children to public schools.
And that's why we homeschool, is because we want to teach our kids morals the way we feel they should be taught. And the schools, they teach a different kind of morals than what I would teach.
We're going to start off with the biggest concern for the U.S., and that is Florence. Here's the way Florence looks tonight, becoming a bigger area of thunderstorms as it moves to the west, just a little south of west there, out in the middle of the ocean. But all indications are it's going to be strengthening as we go through the weekend.
About a dozen large wildfires are burning tonight in California. The state's firefighting agency, CAL FIRE, says it's running out of money in the middle of a busy fire season. Among the immediate challenges is the Delta fire in Northern California. Carter Evans has the latest.
Drivers on I-5 in Northern California got a big scare this week as towering flames raged on both sides of the highway.
It's hot. Whoa, feel the heat?
The Delta fire has scorched nearly 58 square miles since it began near Lake Shasta on Wednesday. As the fire burned through dense forest, flames shot up to 300 feet into the air. Spreading so fast, some truckers were forced to abandon their rigs and flee on foot. So far, the state has been hit with almost 5,500 wildfires this year, burning more than 1.25 million acres. The state's fire agency says it's almost out of money, spending $432 million to fight fires through August, and the official fire season has only just begun. CAL FIRE says it has just $11 million left in its annual budget, but the agency will likely need another $234 million to fight fires through the end of the year.
Hey, good morning, everyone. It's about 11 o'clock. A little update here on the tropics. We've been talking about Florence for a while. We knew it was going to strengthen, and absolutely, this storm has strengthened, now up to Category 1 strength once again, and it's rapidly intensifying. I expect it to get up maybe to Category 2 later today, and by tomorrow, potentially back to a major hurricane.
可能是近10年来可能最大的一次，就是政府使用公权力来给家庭教会施压的一个事例啊，事情现在还在持续着。
Cairo has brokered an interim truce that has allowed commercial goods into Gaza ahead of the Muslim Eid al-Adha feast, which starts next week. Officials from Fatah, which rules the occupied West Bank, have not joined in the talks with Cairo on the long-term truce, but the party's support remains crucial for any deal as it retains a large presence in the Hamas-controlled Gaza Strip. A finalized long-term truce could pave the way for talks on other issues, including the easing of a blockade that has crippled Gaza's economy for many years.
Thandie Newton thanked a female god at the Primetime Emmy Awards. The 45-year-old sparked laughter inside Los Angeles Microsoft Theater when she got on stage to accept the Supporting Actress in a Drama Series prize for her role in Westworld and made the religious quip as she opened her speech. She said, "I don't even believe in God, but I'm going to thank her tonight. I am so blessed. I am so blessed to work with the people that I've gotten to work with. The cast and crew of Westworld, I love you all so much." Thandie then gave a special shout out to her oldest daughter. She said, "My family, my daughter Ripley turns 18 today, and I get to guide you and love you and protect you, which is my North Star. I love you so much, baby. Thank you for this."
I don't even believe in God, but I'm going to thank her tonight. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. Without this, I am even so blessed.
Officials saying at least 16 rivers in North and South Carolina remain at major flood stage in the aftermath of Hurricane Florence. Brian Yennis is on the ground in Brunswick County, North Carolina, with the very latest on what the residents are facing. It's not good, right, Brian?
Hi, David. No, it is not good. And the reason why is because all of that water that fell during Hurricane Florence a week ago is now moving from the north and it's moving south. And if you take a look at this map, we are in Waccamaw River floodplain, which is in Brunswick County, right on the border of North and South Carolina. And what's happening is that those rivers are being filled with all that water and the flooding is happening now. We were on an airboat just a couple hours ago and, well, this is what we saw. A voluntary evacuation order here in the county, but as the water continues to rise, that voluntary evacuation may turn into a mandatory one. We're already talking a week after the storm, and this is the type of flooding we're seeing because of those overflowed rivers. This river, the Waccamaw River, isn't expected to crest until Friday.
H.R. 43 recognizes August as Muslim American Appreciation and Awareness Month. California is the state which is home to the largest number of Muslim Americans. Their contributions to education, science, entertainment, and medicine extend nationally and globally. They've given their lives in battle to defend our freedom. They have been leaders in the sciences. They are Olympic medalists. They are public servants.
This morning, Tropical Storm Isaac is heading toward the U.S. after soaking Puerto Rico yesterday. Florida is watching closely as more than 50,000 people head to Tampa for the Republican National Convention.
People in politics lie a lot. You probably knew that. It's hardly news. What's more interesting is when they say what they really think, and they do sometimes. Chelsea Clinton did the other day. She was at an event protesting Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Clinton explained that Roe v. Wade has been indispensable to the American economy. She even put a number on it, suggesting she's thought a lot about it. The 60 million abortions committed in this country since 1973, she said, have added $3.5 trillion to America's GDP. Fewer women doing dumb things like bringing new life into the world, more women doing the vital business of faithfully serving global capitalism. Earning, consuming, just like Amazon wants. Motherhood does not turn a profit, so get back to your drone work, ladies. Private equity is counting on you. That's the America Chelsea Clinton likes to see. She must be secretly grateful to the Speaker of the House, by the way. Despite promising to stop taxpayer funding of Planned Parenthood in 2016, Paul Ryan has not even really tried to do that. In the meantime, Planned Parenthood has performed another 600,000 abortions. By Chelsea Clinton's math, Ryan helped add more than $35 billion to the economy. Congratulations, Paul Ryan. Shareholders are thrilled by that. Amazon thanks you.
Pope Francis is making his first public appearance this morning amid calls to resign over the church sex abuse scandal. This follows an explosive new claim by Pennsylvania's Attorney General. Josh Shapiro told CBS This Morning yesterday the alleged cover-up involving Pennsylvania's clergy stretched all the way to the Vatican. Shapiro did not implicate the Pope specifically. Seth Doan is in Rome, just outside St. Peter's Square. Seth, good morning.
Good morning. Speaking just behind me earlier today, the Pope did talk about his weekend trip to Ireland and the pain of the sex abuse scandal there, but he did not specifically address the contents of that controversial letter released Sunday. As Pope Francis addressed those in St. Peter's Square today, we found some struggling with their faith.
You don't want to be open about your faith.
Really? Controversy's made you ashamed of your faith?
Not ashamed, but it's more of when other people of other faiths, when they're looking at you and they're talking to you, that's all they know is what they're seeing on the news.
That letter, penned by a former top Vatican diplomat, called for the Pope's resignation and alleged the pontiff knowingly allowed a sex abuser, Cardinal Theodore McCarrick, to continue operating at the highest ranks of the church unpunished. Monsignor Carlo Vigano's 11-page letter included sweeping conservative ideological commentary, including railing against homosexuals in the church. Vigano did not provide any documents to support his accusations that at least 35 church leaders were involved in covering up abuse. While many bishops have condemned Vigano, others have called for an investigation. Monsignor Karel Castile has worked for 7 popes and has known Vigano since he was a young seminarian.
He's certainly an honest person, and he's done his job well. And I think he
he felt that he had to talk.
The Ganos letter comes in the wake of that grand jury report that exposed 300 pedophile priests and 1,000 plus victims in Pennsylvania. The state attorney general appeared on CBS this morning.
And I can tell you that there is facts, there is evidence that takes this cover-up and what occurred in Pennsylvania directly to the Vatican.
A humanitarian group says the escalating Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo could become the worst ever seen in East Africa. On August 1st, 2018, the Ministry of Health of the Democratic Republic of Congo, or the DRC, declared a new outbreak of Ebola in North Kivu. With the outbreak threatening to escalate even further, the humanitarian group International Rescue Committee, or IRC, has sounded the alarm. According to Gizmodo, the IRC has said the situation in the DRC could mirror the events of 2014 to 2016, in which the Ebola virus killed over 11,000 people in West Africa.
The Turkish lira is in the tank, the Argentine peso crashed to record lows, and the new Bolivar has left millions of Venezuelans with worthless paper in their pockets. There's a global currency crisis brewing, and Manila Chan is following the story, and she joins us now with more. Hi, Manila.
Hi, Natasha. So we've been hearing for weeks now how the Turkish lira has taken a dive since the latest spat with President Trump, but now other nations with not so great relations with the U.S. are also seeing their currencies take a hit as well. This week, the U.S. dollar was up another 4% over the Turkish lira, which overall has seen approximately a 40% depreciation since the start of 2018. And folks in Turkey and investors alike unloading their lira on news from Reuters, citing unnamed sources close to the matter, saying Turkey's central bank deputy governor Erkan Kilmici was getting ready to resign. Now, Turkish President Recep Erdogan has been notorious for pressuring the central bank against tightening monetary guidelines, so much so that he dubbed himself the enemy of interest rates. But as the majority of economists would tell you, keeping rates artificially low will ultimately hurt your economy, which is what we're seeing today in Turkey. So Erdogan's spat with Trump right now, not making things better because Trump's influence is weakening emerging markets across the globe.